election was like war among them party. When I was more than sure they win already. Hudson Phillips said, tell them that's the last of PNM. But when the rest complete, is he who end up without a seat.
Not a damn seat for them.
Mama, that's what Chambers said.
Not a damn seat for them.
Not a single seat on election day.
Not a damn seat for them.
How they lose, they can't understand.
Not a damn seat for them.
They call in Chambers a Obia man. Them ONR jump and whine, making a big show. As they had the crowd behind, everywhere they go. So they thought that crowd was bored. They say they're gonna cut the throat. Sparrow start to ball, when he hear not a seat at all.
Not a damn seat for them.
Sparrow, that's ingratitude.
Not a damn seat for them.
You buy the finger that give you food.
Not a damn seat for them.
Look how you hug up Dr. Willie.
Not a damn seat for them.
People prayed you in this country. Hudson Philip fell apart, beaten pole to pole. Dr. Laguise broke his heart in his own stronghold. Well, the party took a blow when their leader went below. The failure of Carl was the end of the ONR.
Not a damn seat for them.
Carl joined the alliance too.
Not a damn seat for them.
And they'll go find something for you to do.
Not a damn seat for them.
I hear he make best a senator.
Not a damn seat for them.
He could he make you party lawyer. Trinidadians got a hint, they heard of the plans. The ONR had blueprint to bring the Cubans. People took it on, of course, say their freedom will be lost. Before this problem, we better put back the PNM.
Not a damn seat for them.
This is what PNM do for we.
Not a damn seat for them.
They give we freedom and liberty.
Not a damn
When you get
seat
older,
for
Papa, you're just like, it's taking coming too quick. So we can have it way, right? But we just have to do the right way. So let me start the thing right now. Friday, people today have some culture in it, and we playing this song when I'm done. Don't worry yourself. Yes, afternoon to all those who are log on. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing no names appearing here, so I don't know what happened. So all who here, thank you so much, share the life, and let me start the thing right. I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I'll honor my parents, my leaders, my teachers, my elders, and those in authority. I'll be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds, and I'll strive in everything I do to work together with my fellow men of every creed and race for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country. Again, my peeps are not seeing the names showing up, but I know my people there with me. So let's always start with some good news. And what do we have today? I see that our new senior men football coach, Dwight York, Soccer Warriors, they had a game, a warm-up match, I think, with Defense Force, if I'm not mistaken, and they would have won that. I see that he's telling them, and which is good because let me tell you something, you won't believe how sometimes looking up to a role model and getting the motivation from them could make people excel. So if he could also bring that along with whatever skills and experience that he has, we're on the right path. So this was 4 hours ago, it says, when I saved it at that time. In the Guardian, in fact, it's 21 hours ago, I saved it 4 hours ago. York to players, you can take us to World Cup. And I think that is good news. In the face of concerns about the country's talent pool in football, national coach Dwight York has expressed confidence that his players can take us to the World Cup in 2026, which will be staged in the CONCACAF region by the United States, Mexico, and Canada. His comments came after a 7-day living camp at the home of football in Vancouver, which ended in a 1-0 win, or 1-0 win over Trinidad and Tobago Premier Football League campaign or Defense Force a week ago at the Larry Gomes Stadium in Malabar Arena. The team expectedly was not at its best, as York explained in a video used to wrap up the camp, saying the Army Coast Guard combination team dominated the proceedings for most part in both halves. However, he urged players to live by what they were taught at the camp when they go back to their respective clubs, etc. Tier 1 of the TTPFL kicks off next Friday, December the 6th, with a doubleheader at the Phase 2 recreational ground in La Joquita, featuring a battle for the service team, Defense Force, and miscellaneous Police FC at 5 p.m. with Caledonia AI and Trinex La Joquita Rangers squaring off in later game at 7 p.m. So that is our coach given moral support as long as it's technical support and experience. And I wish them all the best. I'm also seeing that for Carnival, but I'm so sorry, that's miss only when I can't see the names, I'll switch to my phone and see if I will be able to get a glimpse, right? So I could call all out. Oh gosh, look somebody. Hi Donna. Good, yes, blessing. Oh my God, I feel so good. Where's Roxanne and Melka, Miss Yvette and Miss Angela Lacroix, where everybody? Seeing it, and all my men too, Christopher and Carlos. I was remembering, and Hamilton Jr. Julian, I think it's his name. So Trinidad has noted an increase in registered bands for the 2025 National Panorama, with the number of single pan bands increasing from 49 in 2024 to 54 in 2025, while the number of conventional bands has jumped from 97 in 2024 to 101 in 2025. Boy, the thing hot, boy. Notably, Panorama 2025 marks the first national panorama where the steel pan holds the official designation as Trinidad and Tobago's national musical instrument. This year's competition featured an impressive price allocation across categories with over 16 million in final prices up for grabs in the 2025 National Panorama in the large conventional, medium conventional, small conventional, single pan, and the junior bands under 21 category. The steel pan body announced the launch of the highly anticipated preliminary round for Panorama 2025, where the nation's most talented steel pans will ultimately battle for a top spot in the grand finals. It states that from the junior panorama, single pan, small, medium, and large conventional band categories, the journey promises riveting performances showcasing the brilliance of the national musical instrument. Trinidad says audiences can expect an electrifying showcase of skill, innovation, and the technique spirit of steel pan culture. It notes Panorama 2025 theme, Steel Pan for So, Unleash the Power, introduces dynamic initiatives to enhance community engagement and celebrate the cultural legacy of the steel pan. Trinidad says these initiatives will enrich the Panorama 2025 experience, fostering deeper engagement amongst youth, communities, and fans, while amplifying to Madam Beverly Ramsey, yeah, I think it's Beverly Ramsey Moore, and for coming into the steel pan as the president, because she was always there at other levels, and making Panorama exciting again with all the confusion, the kuchu and bacchanal. We didn't hear none last year, well, this year, and we don't intend to hear any again. And then all the other innovative things that showed up. So congratulations to the Pan Trinidad fraternity, all the pan men, pan women, girls and boys, and the president and her executive. You all the live just be dropping and coming back up. I can't help that, but at least it's not going to just drop and not come back, right? So bear with me, bear with me. Hi, Cyril. Hi, Sarah. Roxanne, all right there. Oh, God. I know all that's give me so much. Hi, Anton. Hi, Joyce. All that's give me so much motivation. When I see all that, I just feel so I'm so happy. So let me continue. Hi, Donna. I think I called Donna already. For so excited. So I'm seeing that point. You remember Kamla and them say water for all, and she never had no other pipe more than the Sessa pipe and some foolishness. So and they spend so much money to restructure WASA, how much millions and millions and millions of dollars they borrowed from the one of them bank lending agency, and nothing happened. They say when they pay out all the workers and then whatever, they bring them back in. So they get the packages, everything, retrenchment, everything, and they just come right back in. This government always has to come and clean up after the mess and the mayhem that the UNC leave. So I'm seeing this is really the Minister of Water, Minister Marvin Gonzalez has really done some work in public utilities that is really to be appreciated, where people getting water for the first time and all the different projects with the well digging and different, all the things they were doing there, that is happening. And people are getting water. So this 19 hours ago, Point residents happy after water flows in taps. You remember on Monday, I think it was. Kamla then went down there to say they have water, wherever, and people come out to show water running in the pipe like that. Okay. That woman does lie. We will come to that. So potable water is a basic essential, but over the last few decades, residents in Uriah Butler Street, New Village in Point Fortin, never had the privilege of a consistent supply of the vital resource. The lack of a reliable supply had residents traveling sometimes miles away to bathe and do laundry. Now, for the first time in decades, taps in this community are flowing consistently. When Guardian Media visited the streets, residents expressed relief at their newfound water access. Just a few months ago, many homes received water only once a week, or sometimes just once a month. Now, it's most reports near 24/7 service. I feel great. Once I can wash, cook, and clean and do all the things I need water for, I am happy, Shelley Philanders said. Previously, she had to drive to her mother's home in Capdeville with bags of dirty laundry to wash, a daunting task while managing a toddler. With consistent water, she now does laundry 3 times a week. Others, like 69-year-old Timothy Sanchez, recalled decades of frustration. When Sanchez moved to the street nearly 40 years ago, there was no water main, and he had to connect his own line to a pipe at the junction. Though a main was eventually installed, the water pressure dropped over time and outages became the norm. 3 months ago, I would go up to 3 weeks without water. When that happened, I had to ask neighbors for help or go down the road to bathe, Sanchez said. Sometimes water would only come at night and I would have to wake up to get it. Now, Sanchez says his 17-year-old daughter is happy with being able to move around more freely through pressure, though pressure issues still occasionally arise. WASA attributed the improvement to its Southwest Water Improvement Program, which tackled long-standing infrastructure issues. Projects included drilling 3 more new wells in Granville, building boosters in Bonas Village and Cedros, and refurbishing Tisha wells number 13 and number 21. As a result, water delivery across Ikaka, Cedros, Palo Seco, Santa Flora, and other areas moved from a supply level of once every 9 days or worse to 24/7, 24/3, and 24/2. Residents of nearby streets like Julian Street benefited from better water pressure, while streets in Egypt Village and Capdeville requires over 100 meters of new piping. Some unplanned developments, such as those in Spring Trace and Jatton Trace, further complicate service delivery. Point 14 MP Kennedy Richards Jr. acknowledged the challenges, saying the improvements represents progress but not a complete solution. We are dealing with decades-old infrastructure, and addressing these issues takes time. It is not a fly-by-night fix, Richards said. The upcoming Chatham Water Treatment Plan is one of the several projects aimed at resolving remaining problems. We are also dealing with old lines, some over 50 years old, and high pressure from the desalination plant. But the progress so far, we are on the right track. He recalled getting a tongue lashing from a woman in the Caracas last February who claimed she had not received water in her tap for 40 years. She is getting water now. She has a 24/3 supply, which is a decent improvement. At the end of the whole program, a service will go up to 24/7, as we have another well to come on in Granville. So that is good work out there also in Point 14. The Member of Parliament there, Kennedy Richards Jr. But you wouldn't hear that. They won't be talking about that. I will tell you what they're talking about. And the people who are getting water make videos. The same always make videos to show all this suffering and then getting water. And the government bad and wicked, whoever government, show all they getting the water now and all they happy for the water now. That's the least all they could do. You don't have to promote the PNM now, but show they getting water now so people will see this thing really working. So those who feel it hopeless in their communities could say, nah, if it could happen in Capdeville and the Carcass and these areas, it could happen by us too. I continues. New Wave Automotive, they have extended another branch, I think it is. So with all this suffering is a slang for things nice, things good, right? So when all they hear I say we suffering, I mean things nice, things good. When they hear I say things good and nice, I mean we suffering, right? This thing had to work backwards because you know they say we suffering, but you're not seeing that on the surface. You ain't seeing that at all. So this was 2 days ago in the news. New Wave Automotive expands services with El Socorro Service Center. New Wave Automotive Limited unveiled its state-of-the-art 28,000 square foot El Socorro Service Center on November the 26th. The facility was recognized as a game changer for Trinidad and Tobago automotive industry by Trade and Industry Minister Paulo Gopi School. Diversification. they're not dependent on the oil and gas. You remember economist Obika? Do you remember what he said? That the non-energy sector picking up, and is that we're pulling we along? Okay. The facility, right. The center offers advanced services, including tire alignment, suspension diagnostics, and electrical repairs, setting a new standard for the industry, said Chief Operations Manager Nicola Harvey Mitchell. The launch was attended by Minister of Education Dr. Nayan Gaspi-Dali, Minister of Trade and Industry Paula Gupi School, MP Saddam Hussain Bataria San Juan, PS Randall Karim, and from the Ministry of Trade and Marinella Carbinalis, Director of Interjet Batteries. Michael Seeley, Managing Director of New Wave Automotive, said the facility partnered with Interjet Batteries, a Peru-based company. Seeley said the company is known for its durable, high-performance products. Customers can expect innovative diagnostic tools, faster, more accurate service, and convenient digital solutions from easy booking to real-time updates. Originating from 12 vehicles and a single employee in a small office to a fleet of 200 vehicles, 3 branches, and approximately 50 employees, Seeley said its accomplishment is truly notable. He also announced plans for the El Chicoro facility to become the first in the region certified by the UK's Institute of Motor Industry for hybrid and electrical vehicles maintenance. He said the certification aims to upskill local technicians and create a training center to drive automotive excellence in the region. Speaking to Newsday, Seeley said, New Wave has expansion plans, including the establishment of Ghana's first battery assembly plant. Initially focused on distributing Energet batteries across the region, discussions with Ghana's Deputy Trade Minister revealed an untapped opportunity to address the absence of local manufacturing and assembly facilities, he said. We decided to take the leap and become the first to establish assembly operations in Ghana. The Ghana facility is expected to become operational by the second or third quarter in 2025, with its focus expanding to neighboring markets such as Burkina Faso, Togo, Ivory Coast, and Nigeria. These countries collectively represent a market size of hundreds of millions, providing immense growth potential, he said. Seeley added that the company hopes to counteract Trinidad's foreign exchange challenges by expanding into other Caribbean markets, including St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Barbados, and Grenada. Now, when I read that, and you listen to Mala Dukaran and the man that you read before, and Indira Sajiwan, and all of them, I'm more inclined to believe what economist Obika said. Because again, he didn't dispel the fact that we have an issue in the energy sector, but he went on to say that we are not relying simply on that. We are expanding, and the non-energy sector and the manufacturing sector will include in that is what really picking up steam. And it continue, and you hear what this man saying here. It's like the diversification. So when the big word drunk man or I-95.5 talking about no diversification, and that it's not diversification, but you see, it's like it's a part of them. They cannot speak the truth about what's happening. Yeah? So let me continue. So that is good news there. I'm seeing that Fatima is in the finals of the school Intercal. So good luck to them and their journey. Labre, I'd spoken to a gentleman who lives down in that area, and he was very concerned that there's no work for the young people in Labre. I hope he takes every opportunity now to advocate on behalf of the youths and them who want to work to be a part of the new facility fabricating facility that recently was constructed or finished building in Labre. So this is 22 hours ago in The Guardian. TOFCO, says TOFCO, starts manatee fabrication next month. The local fabrication phase of the manatee project was celebrated earlier this week with a ceremonial stimulation of steel cutting at the Trinidad Offshore Fabrication Unlimited. So that is what TOFCO means, at the Yard and Labre Industrial Estate. A statement posted by the TNT Energy Chamber explained the local fabrication of jackets and piles, legs, and supporting frames for the manatee platform will kick off in December. The manatee jacket is said to be the largest jacket to be built locally by TOFCO Yard. In delivering the keynote address at the inaugural ceremony, Energy Minister Stuart SC said, "This has been my third visit to TOFCO Yard in the last month to view fabrication projects that were a direct outcome of government's policy and strategy coming together. The government will continue delivering world-class opportunities to Labre, Point Fortin, and other communities in Trinidad and Tobago." In 2019, a government-to-government agreement was made between the governments of Trinidad and Tobago and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, allowing each country to independently develop its respective shares of the Laurel Manatee Field. So people, this has nothing to do with Dragon Field. We will develop our side of Laurel Manatee, and Venezuela, they do. That is not, this has nothing to do with Dragon, right? This is in we waters, we land. Manatee is expected to start production in 2027, and once online, Manatee is expected to reach peak production of approximately 104,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day, BOE/D, inverted commas, and inverted commas again, they have 604, capital MM, comma SCF/D. All in the oil business, gas business, the energy sector will know what I'm talking about, right? We just know they will be producing when they get the peak time of 104,000 barrels. That's good enough for me. The project gas production will boost TNT's economy and earn foreign exchange through the utilization of local services and hydrocarbon exports. Commenting on the local fabrication milestone event, Adam Lomas, Senior Vice President and Country's Chair, Shell, stated, "At Shell, we are proud to partner with professional organizations like McDermott and TOFCO. We are confident that the manatee jacket will be completed on time and with high quality of craftsmanship, and look forward to bringing this project online for Trinidad and Tobago." General Manager of TOFCO, Javed Mohammed, acknowledged the work ahead and the positive relationship between the government and the project stakeholders, stating, "The journey ahead will be filled with challenges, but it is through our collaboration and perseverance that we will turn these challenges into opportunities for growth and success as we set new standards in offshore construction." So Labre people, young people, make every use of the opportunities. It's world-class thing. This ain't no joke thing. Serious business here. Go and get yourself involved in the right way. People, I want to show you something. We're not easy in this country, you know. So, you know, the last couple of days, courts was having sale. And standards jumping the bacchanal too. I want to show you something. I want to show you the people who's suffering. That early morning the lineup, right? That's one. I'm going to show you the bacchanal. I love my people, yes? Oh, they're happy. I love them too bad. Confusion, bacchanal, couture. When it's time to vote, they do the right thing. Only bacchanal and couture. Let me show you. Let me show you. I'm gonna find it here. What do you think? Look how people falling down. People falling and people just walking over. Come on, it's suffering, man. Oh, let's see that?
Yeah.
Well, let's see that. Wait. Let me show you next so much, man. I love my people too, but I couldn't be there. I mean, by Fred crowd. What's your next back and I'll again? Right? I don't have a problem with people going to make use of the sale and all that. The issue I just have is when some of them see people just cuss and say the country so hard and they suffer. That's why I say must talk the truth. Yes, it might have some people in this country who things are not well with them. In all countries that has happened. But the general statement, we suffering, oh God, and then come up and says, and I'm lying with that talk. What she say about them people and them, you see how people, a woman fall down, she can't even get back up proper, and people laughing and pushing, she and still going on. When they look, a whole crew of them on the ground. To spend money, you know, not to go and whine because a band playing, you know, a steel band playing, you know, it's to go to spend money, you know. Anyhow, all day I on my standards today, but in tongue, eh? I just passed through it. It had crowded, they had no push and follow. It really a nice thing. If I had money, I would have buy things to money and money. My money was to do some other things, and I say, you see me going to get caught up in that, buy chair, put on, and then when I check myself, no, me have money to pay. I watch it, I say, Father Jesus. Close my eyes to those things, no temptations, and I walks back out. So me have vex with them at all, but my problem is when you start to talk about the suffering of the suffering. I talk the truth. I am on my crusade with this school in Tobago. I am a self-advocate for persons with Down syndrome and persons who have self-advocate. I tell you, I enjoy it. Nobody doesn't have a self-advocate. And persons who have different abilities. And I'm calling again. I don't know if it has happened. I didn't see the teacher come back and say anything. I am calling on the THA. I am calling on the education secretary. I am calling on the infrastructure man, who because their behavior, he does look stupid like his behavior, to help out this teacher in Tobago who is doing human service teaching children that have hearing impairment, those who are deaf, and children who may be autistic, and also probably children with Down syndrome. She has 20 other children to come on stream, and she needs a school. It is the senior teacher at the Tobago School for the Deaf, Speech and Language Impaired. Davorian Toppin is calling for the institution to have a new school. Please, we tend not to pay much notice, minimum notice, on special schools. We tend to put all our focus on the quote-unquote normal schools. When we have children in the special schools who are excelling in exams the same way, who are excelling in art, who are excelling in other areas, they don't let their disabilities or their special abilities to affect them from trying to be a part of society. But we have to also give them that nurturing, and we have to give them that support. Please let us pay attention to them. So let me continue. This one is painful to me. I don't know the circumstances, but again, it has to do with a child who burned up in a fire. She was autistic. I understand. I haven't read the story yet. And again, I'm going to urge parents, guardians, caregivers, if you have children who have certain types of disabilities, especially children, please get them to the facilities where they can learn, where they can still be able to do something. Because if you just keep them at home, you keep them isolated, whether it's because they don't have the money or fear or shame or whatever, you put them at a disadvantage. They will take much longer to understand social cues and to really go to the next level. Please take the children to the schools and the areas where they can be taught. And if you're having challenges, you could highlight it or what, but don't just keep them home and hide them away because it has become adults. Right? And when they become adults and they're helpless, you're leaving them for people to advantage them. These things are real. There are people who will advantage children who are Down syndrome, girls especially, have sex with them, they're innocent in it, but it's a body thing. We're talking the truth, you know. It's a bodily function, so they will feel nice. They will like it. They might enjoy it, but not understanding the serious consequences because them in studying birth control and telling no fella to put on no condom. Next thing, the belly big, the child born, and the state has to take the child. These young ladies or these boys, they can learn, they can understand the right way to do things and not when you keep them. That does really upset me. I know a woman and her husband, I know the child Down syndrome from small. I seen them, they walk in the room. They used to go to school, they take them out of school because it looked like they prefer to beg. And that little girl grew up on the road, but she looked sick, red on she lip, and she think, I shudder to think what happened, because I feel if this training in school and you miss the training in the school, somebody's supposed to send a signal. But back then, I must admit, we did not have the child unit as we have now, where you could call anonymous and all them things. It didn't have those things. So that child would have slipped through the crack because the parents was using that child as a buffer to beg. Huh? Okay, let me continue. So teacher, please get the school from the children, please. So the autistic child who died in the fire, it's loading. 19 hours ago, autistic girl 11 dies at hospital after house fire in Arima. An 11-year-old autistic girl who was reportedly left alone at home on Wednesday night, died at hospital after being burnt about the body during a house fire. Police said Anna Love Tate of Paul Castillo Avenue, Phase 4, Malabar, Arima, lived with a close male relative aged 50 and another man in the quiet neighborhood. I don't want my thoughts to go all over the place. Right? Residents of the area did not know how the second man was related to the I just want to leave this there. So I'm seeing just a moment. So this was CNC3 News, November the 29th, 2024. Shoguna's MP calls for action against extortionists. Shoguna's East MP Vandana Mohit is urging the government to take more action to address the extortion issue affecting businesses in Kanupi and Warrenville. In a release, the MP stated that the business community in Kanupi and Warrenville are in crisis as the scourge of extortion grows unchecked in these areas. Mohit questioned when the current government will stop ignoring the cries of the people and take decisive action to end this menace. She said their failure to act on the issue will only embolden criminals, destabilize communities, and destroy livelihood. She said despite numerous calls for intervention in this matter, the government has failed to adopt a decisive strategy to address this new and alarming criminal phenomenon. Due to this inaction, Mohit said local entrepreneurs and business owners are now living in fear and are unable to operate with the confidence and security they deserve. Mohit added that reports from business owners indicate a rise in incidents of individuals and organized groups demanding protection money under threat of violence. She stated that this has led to an atmosphere of intimidation, which has eroded the trust in law enforcement and public safety. She also added that many are fearful of being targeted, which results in many of these crimes going unreported, which emboldens perpetrators who face no consequences for their actions. In the release, Mohit added that one business owner who spoke on the condition of anonymity shared, "We are working hard to keep our businesses afloat in this tough economy, and now we are forced to deal with this added burden. We feel abandoned by the government and helpless in the face of these threats." Mohit said the UNC, National United Congress, has repeatedly sounded the alarm about the deteriorating security situation in Trinidad and Tobago, but the current administration remains silent. She said the government's failure to act enables criminal elements to thrive, while simultaneously undermining the entrepreneurial spirit and economic stability of communities like Kunupia and Warrenville. Mohit posed several suggestions to deal with the rising rate of extortion in such communities. She said increased police presence She said encourage reporting through confidential channel. She said support the business community. So those were her suggestions for what is happening in her community. And I want to ask if she read this. I just read it what I see. This was in the Guardian 26 days ago. Extortions linked to businesses funded with drug money. A business group has denounced as unfair claims by criminologist Dr. Darius Figaro that an upsurge in extortions in central Trinidad is linked to businesses that are using drug money to fund their operations. Figaro said in a social media post, if you take drug man money to build your empire and the drug man operation collapses and people come looking for the money, people come looking for the man money that you are owing. How come that is extortion? They are running around now bawling extortion to make themselves victims, but they owe the people money and they are not paying. Figaro said it was not by coincidence that kidnappings were occurring in central Trinidad following the collapse of an illicit business operation. Noting many business owners are complaining about the extortions but not going to the police to report it, he added. If you know you owe the people money and you are not paying the people, you are in the game and you know the next thing is to kill you. Who are you going to report it to when he has all his people in the police station watching all you? From the time you see the grabbing man and sending ransom, but they finding the man dead and they get their money and they will kill him. However, the Shobona's Chamber of Industry and Commerce denied Figaro's claim in a strongly worded statement saying they were unfair to all businessmen. Right? INC no pre-action protocol letter sent for the criminal. He's the criminologist. He knows about crime. I knows nothing about it. I'm not a criminologist. I just read from him. So I want MP Mohit to have a discussion with the criminologist because when they want to talk about crime and crime in the East-West corridor and the urban youth, they just have all kind of people on the crime talks to talk about we and crime. So I think they could get in contact with criminologist Darius Figaro and have a conversation about the things he's saying. He didn't say so. So I leave that there. I'll say just recently struck iron dealer president, I don't know, carrying on and saying that the Venezuelans take the work. I'm paraphrasing it. Let me drink a little something here. I paraphrase on what he said. Something to the extent that the Venezuelans are setting up scrap iron dealership, taking away the work from them and they're going to take it so on, whatever. Right? Madam Gopi Spoon, she would have responded. And this is one. I don't know if she responded to him, but she responded. This was in the Guardian 22 hours ago. It says, you brought foreigners to TNT. So let me read this thing. While the TNT Scrap Iron Dealers Association continues to call for the closure of all scrap yards run by foreigners, Trade Minister Paula Gopi-Spoon said the dealers are the ones who brought in the foreigners to TNT in the first place. She made the comments while speaking to members of the media at the unveiling of the New Wave Automotive 28,000 square feet state-of-the-art facility in El Chico Tuesday. That's what I read about before in the good news. The TTSIDA has accused foreigners, so I guess like the Trinidad Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association, the acronym is TTSIDA, has accused foreigners, namely those from India and China, of owning and running scrapyard across the country. The association also complained that these foreign operators are trying to force local dealers out of business to take over the industry. Commenting on the issue, Gopi Spoon said, I understand this is about the second or third time the Scrap Iron Dealer Association have gone out there complaining about foreigners doing business. But they are the very ones who brought these foreigners into Trinidad to do the export of their scrap. In other words, they are dealing with scrap, collecting scrap, then passing it on and selling it on to these exporters. So these exporters are also dealers in the registered sense. So they are not illegally here, as well as I don't know what word the editor and then put here. I just LOUR. I don't know what that means. I'm just going to skip it and said so they are not here illegally, as well as LOUR, local people are dealers. So I don't know how the scrap iron dealers expect the ministry to attend to the collectors who operate under the foreign dealers and not attend to the collectors who operate under the local dealers. It has to be equitable. The minister said the concerns may be centered around the fact that these foreign dealers have now gone into the realm of collecting scrap iron, which is what the local dealers were primarily doing. Well, this thing come out and just block my whole thing. This thing just come and just block everything. What the hell? Right. To address the issue, she said her ministry and government have been trying to put an entirely legal, formal system in place for collectors and dealers. We have put past the policy, we have passed the legislation, and we have not been getting the dealers to get their collectors registered. So it's free season, Gopi Spoon said. Meanwhile, during the launch of New Wave Automotive Managing Director Michael Seeley said the facility is just another step in the company's plan. Well, I read all that already, right? So basically what Minister of Trade and Industry is saying, Madam Paula Gopi Spoon, is that the scrap iron dealers are the one who encourage the foreigners to come here. And so they are dealers and collectors. So now, like the foreign collectors, when them doing all the work now. Basically, what she's saying, them bring that on themselves. And if you want the government to deal with one side, you have to deal with the next side. And she also said that the legislation have been put in place, have been passed, but dealers, local dealers are refusing based on what I read to register. So I don't know where they expect this to go. So I continues. I'm seeing that Munilal, he wants, I don't know if this thing they have with either wanting people to apologize or calling sanction in this country. Or if they're not doing that, they're carrying on this country. I don't know if it's something in their makeup that caused that. I don't get it. But you know, if you start to talk, them talk, they was a racist and online business. I want to talk on race relations to start as of yesterday. So this was in the Guardian 19 hours ago. Munilal calls on Hines to say sorry to Trump. I'm going to take us to before I cuss, yes. Sorry, policy are trying to run down this show. Orange East MP Dr. Rudan Munilal believes National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines owes US President-elect Donald Trump and the US government an apology. Munilal said he was shocked by Hines' statement that opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissess's comments on deporting illegal immigrants were a reckless outburst aimed to play politics and mimic Trump. On Monday, Persad-Bissess warned Venezuelan migrants to behave or be deported. She expressed concern that illegal Venezuelan migrants were allegedly committing crimes against locals. She also called for a clear migrant policy from the state. Questioned by reporters at his David constituency office on the issue, Munilal said while Hines' comments may have been aimed at the opposition leader, he was also disrespecting a foreign head of government. That foreign head of government ain't called we a shithole country, call the Caribbean shithole countries. So he didn't disrespect all leaders and heads of government in the Caribbean. But like something with the white man, with Mulala and them, once you're white, they could get through with them. The white man syndrome. Let us talk about we and the whip. Hey. If he said that is frightening, it's reckless of him to be speaking about an incoming president and making reference to Mr. Trump's politics and Mr. Trump's character and personality and views. The whole of America ain't talking about President-elect Donald Trump, and not now they're talking about he and his character and his behavior and saying all kind of things. So if people say with them that be saying, we are talking them things, them saying about their own president-elect to come into office, what do they be saying about him? Come now, Munilal, you're stretching it, but again, all they will bow down low for the white man and just talk about we. I'm giving an opinion. If you think that Donald Trump will smile on all favorably, let me tell you something. President-elect Donald Trump will watch you as a minority and one of the brown people and a migrant. Because he wants to make America, as they continue saying, white again. Great again, I meant. Great again. I think the country needs to recognize Mr. Hines should apologize to the United States administration, he said. Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Amy Brown and Finance Minister Com Emberg also responded to Pasabi Sessa's comments. Brown, in an post on X, had said the Ministry of National Security had continuously been reporting Venezuelans nationals who break the law of Trinidad and Tobago. And the Munilal who brings them back. Isn't one of the one accused of human trafficking? Is he trafficking pigs and cats? Where is he getting the girls or the children? I don't know if it's children involved, but the human cargo to traffic. Where are they coming from? If what Dr. Devan Maharaj is saying is true, if we are to go by what he's saying, but he swore on an affidavit, and I don't think he's a madman to put his name down on a legal document saying XYZ when it's not that. Okay, so I go into Dr. Devan Maharaj said. And he also said at one time that the UNC need to purge itself of bandit bullers, prostitute pimps, drunks, and deadbeats. In response to his post, Ember stated madness. She previously demanded that we will accept all of them carte blanche without question. Now all of a sudden, she wants to report them en masse. Responding to the issue regarding Venezuelan migrants, Munilal said Pasabi Sessa's statements reflected what the average citizen believed to be the truth. And while it might not be an attractive or convenient truth, one cannot hide from the truth. And the truth is that you all want to hide from the UNC is a kleptocratic government where everybody, they say corrupt. We come up Pasabi Sessa based on everything that we hear is a drunk, a full-long drunk. And it is also alleged she has 7 toes. So why nobody doesn't want to talk about those things, but conveniently talk about others? Okay. A policy of migrants. So Pasabi Sessa is really calling for 2 things. A policy on migrants, particularly from Venezuela and related areas in the Caribbean, and she's really saying uphold the law. Or remember the time she told Jamaica or wherever it is, basically up in it my way. It's not an ATM machine. She cared about the Caribbean. And when Dr. Rowley came in, it was almost a regional disaster where Jamaica started to drag off goods that they does import in Jamaica off the shelf because of what she say. You know, Jamaican them those stick and play this role. And Dr. Rowley and them had to fly across the hands. You remember that? Or remember when he wanted the Dominicans to come in? It's not so much wanted the Dominicans to come, but when Dominica had the whole island would have been devastated. Dr. Rowley would have said, I think that if you have family members in Dominica and you can see about them, they can come across here and could stay for 6 months while you're getting in order Did Kamala Persad and them not kick up? But they care about people. They care about we now. Excuse me. Munila said there was a crisis in several communities where migrants from Venezuela and other places have been committing crimes, including home invasions and robberies. Oh, all the pinning it now on the Venezuelans. Oh, okay. I thought it was some of your Indian boys and girls. Because last time I'm here, they find a van, I think 3 of them in it, and have implements for housebreaking. Okay. It comes so bad that the Venezuelans are coming here illegally and then going back on vacation and coming back illegally. We need to have a comprehensive overview of that and implement laws and policies to stop that. Who does be impregnating them? Dr. Munila, when you look sometime at these Spanish beautiful ladies, you don't see an Indian man with them. They don't be with African men or don't be Indian men. Who they making the babies for? How they coming back? Who bringing them back? When they go see just people say so, not me. When they reach it out, Max to pick them up, well coordinated. Who doing that? And Dr. Munila? But I want Dr. Munila to, if you want Minister Hines to apologize to Donald Trump, I want him to tell one of his former colleagues, Dr. Deva Maharaj, that he needs to apologize also. And I'll tell you why. Do we have it across the board? Oh, look at my minute. Let me find this thing. Because I think, so letter to the editor, Kamala, the one to be Trinidad and Tobago Trump. The opposition leader's statement regarding mass deportation of Venezuelan migrants reflect not only a dangerous populist rhetoric, but also a pattern of reactive, opportunistic leadership. By framing an entire group of migrants as the root cause of societal issues, Kamala Persad mirrors the divisive tactics of Donald Trump's campaign rhetoric, which similarly demonize immigrants without presenting actionable solutions. This approach, while politically expedient, underscores a leadership style that prioritizes fear-mongering over effective policy making, perhaps inspired excuse me, perhaps inspired that the 70-something-year-old can be successful at the poll. The opposition leader has started to ape Trumpian tactics, but Persad is no trumper. Such rhetoric risks international condemnation, erodes societal cohesion, and diminishes TNT's long-standing reputation as a welcoming nation. Moreover, it signals a lack of substantive policy expertise or vision on managing migrants effectively. This is emblematic of a broader trend in the opposition leaders' leadership, substituting inflammatory language for comprehensive strategy. The opposition reliance on sensationalism rather than solutions demonstrates a failure to address the nuanced realities of migration, crime, and economic development. Leadership requires fostering unity, not sowing discord for short-term political gain. These statements are a stark reminder of why the country needs thoughtful and constructive approaches to its challenges, not make it populism wrapped in empty promises. So Dr. Deva Maharaj said here, the opposition leader's statement of mass deportation of Venezuelan migrants reflects not only a dangerous populist rhetoric, but also a pattern of reactive, opportunistic leadership. By framing an entire group of migrants as the root of the cause of societal issues, Kamala Persad mirrors the diversive tactics of Donald Trump's campaign rhetoric, which similarly demonize immigrants without presenting actionable solutions. Isn't Dr. Deva saying the same thing that Minister Hines would have said? So why ain't calling and he can apologize to Trump? I'm about to tell you, hey, we watching them and we taking notes. So let me continue. Well, I'm hearing on the ground and I'm seeing it now that Minister Hines is not going back up as to be for screening. And thanks to, I'm not in a community, so but thanks to your service to Trinidad and Tobago. So in the parliament, Wade Mark wanted to throw shade at, in my opinion, at Minister Hines. And you can try that with somebody else. You can try it with Dr. Rowley. Wade Mark is just a floor mat for UNC. Anywho, Minister Hines answered to suit all the back and all.
I have to address that to my outgoing colleague. I will miss you. Mr. President, may I address this to my colleague and friend, Minister of National Security? Question number 5 to the Honorable Minister of National Security. I will miss you.
Minister of National Security. Mr. President, it is rather interesting to note that I am moving on from 30 years of representative service of politics. A sphere, a field in which the Honorable Senator never got started. Politically stillborn. Mr. President, that aside, there has been a very careful development of strategic.
Right? So he tried to throw shade now because Minister Hines not there. Minister Hines say, watch me. You was never no minister boy. You're not more representing the people, but you're no minister boy. In fact, he's a political stillborn. Wade Mark is a floor mat for UNC. They never set up with all what Wade Mark do. They never set up Wade Mark in a safe seat. They send Paradat, they send all kind of people. They bring him back from the high prestigious position of Speaker of the House and make him a senator. They didn't give me a seat nothing. Wade Mark is a floor mat. Wade Mark is one of them Knee grows. GROWS. Waste of time. Not a part of my tribe at all. You don't have to be only African to be a part of my tribe, you know. You could be Indian and be a part of my tribe. I'm not talking about ethnic group or little group. Don't mix it up. You don't have to be African alone to be a part of my tribe, because there's some Africans I don't want them a part of my tribe at all. You could be any race and be a part of my tribe. Once you believe in my values and equal right and justice for all, you could be a part of my tribe. So let me continue. So he tried to shade minister and get roasted instead. So I want to bring back something to Ole quickly, because the topic right now is the SRC. You all remember the time they said at Dr. Ole, say, oh, he don't like his money, sleep out. You want money now? You know, they'll never tell you. He was responding to that when Kamala Prasad said the first time in the Commonwealth that they would have suspended a sitting MP, opposition leader, from the parliament and then pay them no money. You remember that what they do, Dr. Rowley? So when Kamala and them want to play victim, and when she stand them like Ralph and them want to talk about Dr. Rowley, so cruel and crass, who more cruel and crass than Kamala Prasad sister? Yeah? Put the opposition leader out of the parliament and then pay the man for 3 months. But when you think you went to build something in Canada and going to offer him a cake, where they put in that cake? It's because he didn't eat your cake when you have a problem with it to this day. All who eat it, the dotish. The balls in a bag rest down somewhere. That's my opinion on different. But no, they don't remember them things. They just do Dr. Rowley, all kind of thing. And when he responded, they just play victim, some of them. And that's what they're gonna do. So they call him rapist, call him mother, that she was raped. Say father raped the mother, he raped a girl, and he this. Call you all that. He must respond. He must be turn the other cheek and just take it and don't say nothing. Now, as he say, if you skin my cat, I skin your dog, or he crude. And call who? Geometry. He crude. But all they ain't crude. When all they stand up in parliament and have a member of parliament from all their side, with all their support, lie, stink and dirty on the prime minister and say he's a rapist and pedophile. Nothing wrong in that. But saying about geometry, and if you skin my cat, I skin a dog, that geometry. Dr. Rolly, get him in the FM. Get him. So, let me just remind all that, bringing it back to all the quick. It's just the same way when they say how Dr. Rolly say the rich must get richer and they cut and pay it. Then play the next part where they say the rich must get richer, but they must pull up the poor. Then hear that part. They just put the part, the rich must get, Dr. Rolly said the rich must get richer. Then put the part where he said when them get rich, they have to pull up the poor. Then play that part. Just like how they put in, Dr. Rolly say, I don't like my money slip out. Then say in what context he said. He was saying he wanted money for the 3 months. They had him out of parliament and wasn't paying him his salary. He said he wanted money. That's what he was talking about. So, let me just bring it back to all it quickly to show all here why when 2025 come, all the rhetoric, all these choppiness they're talking, know all they're doing it because them does lie dread, that does lie stink. And if you can lie for a small thing, you can lie for a big thing. Right? And if you have to lie to make a point and to get people to follow you, you don't have no point at all. And that way them does right to lie, doctor. You don't have to lie. So this was 11th of May 2025. It didn't have election yet. Dr. Oli was still the opposition leader. This was in Caribbean Life. Trinidad Tobago opposition leader suspended from parliament. Trinidad Tobago opposition leader Dr. Keith Rowley was suspended from parliament for the rest of its sitting on Wednesday night. The suspension comes back 6 weeks before parliament will be dissolved on June 17th to make way for the next general election. House Speaker Wademark announced the suspension after a vote was taken with 24 government ministers saying it's a DPP government. With the lone opposition, MP Jack Warner voting against the motion. The opposition members staged a second walkout of the House of Representatives when the debate of a no-confidence motion started. It was a double whammy, as hours before Dr. Rowley was sent to the Privileges Committee over a motion brought by Prime Minister Kamala Persad against the PNM political leader for his reference to a document which he alleged to be legal opinions authored by Sir Henry Ford, Barbadian QC, which the Prime Minister claimed was fraudulent. She said the Speaker, Wademark, he noted that the Prime Minister said Dr. Rowley was reckless in his responsibility to provide accurate information, that he knew or ought to have known that the statement he was reading was false, inaccurate, and damaging. I would them say. But when Wademark stand up as the Speaker of the House and lie and say he get a legal document from the court, so they can't talk about, I think was the live sport issue. He wasn't reckless. You see, them can do what they want. It's okay for them to do what they want. As you do, is a problem. And again, they need to lie to make it sound good. None of them no good. So remember that? So when he would have said, the money as he want, money slip out, he was talking about when they put him out. And to support that, this was in the Newsday, Thursday, the 23rd of June, 2016. Pandey agrees Rowley should be paid for suspension. Addressing a mass meeting in St. Joseph on June the 14th, Rowley had demanded his month's salary, a month's salary for the time when he as opposition leader was suspended after a motion to censor was passed by the then People's Partnership government. At a media conference at his Gordon Street, San Fernando law office yesterday, Pandey described the standing order used to suspend Rowley as harsh and oppressive and called on the Prime Minister to use his position to change the standing order. So in 2016, Pandey said that the standing order that was used to put out and suspend Dr. Rowley as opposition leader, it was oppressive and harsh, and he wanted the incoming government, would have been at the time in 2016, Dr. Rowley, to look at that standing order. He said, I agree with Dr. Rowley, and I wish to inform him, those are the rules, those are the standing orders, and if he really don't like it, he is in power now, and now is the time to amend the standing orders to ensure that advantage is not taken of people, Pandey said. He observed that Rowley had not only been suspended from the business of the House of Representatives, and he observed that Rowley had only been suspended from the business of the House of Representatives and not as a parliamentary representative, and still had a duty to his constituency. Right? Pandey, however, noted that the only opposition members, Pandey noted, however, that only opposition members and not government members were on the receiving end of that particular standing order, saying, when you're in opposition, the same person will be suspended, and when you're in government, he suspends the other person in opposition. This is the comedy of the parliament. Pandey was not without his personal reasons for siding with Rowley, saying that he too was owed money after he had been suspended from parliament in 1990. Right? I was suspended for 1 month, and just like him. So when they are preparing the check for him, don't forget me. I want my check too. Right? So that was Dr. Rowley was saying he want like he wanted to sleep out. But they don't talk about them. Ting. Come on, talk about them thing. Come on, go talk about the time the same SRC that they having all kind of problem with. Listen to this. This was in the Daily Express, March 21st, 2018. Deceitful changes to SRC terms. The government decision to secretly, deceitfully change the long-standing arrangement to allow ministers to drive government cars has in effect altered the terms and conditions of ministers outlined by the Salary Reviews Commission, opposition leader Dr. Keith Rowley said yesterday. I don't know how this updated from 2012. So this was January 22nd, 2012. Rowley said that while one can make a case to change something, that case has not been made by this government, and therefore it should abide by what is in place until it had been properly changed. He said the SRC allows ministers to access vehicles for a certain standard via a low-interest loan and exemption from all duties and taxes. Rowley comments, Dr. Rowley, were made in reference to the recent controversy surrounding the purchase of a Porsche Cayenne by the Minister of Food Production for the use by the Minister Vassan Bharat, and the cabinet decision to change the policy on the use of government vehicles by ministers and their drivers. He was speaking yesterday at his bi-monthly press conference at the leader of the opposition office, Charles Street, Port of Spain. The understanding is that the vehicle will be used for your official duties as well as your private life. That being the case, the government provides money, a transport allowance of $4,200 monthly to cover the maintenance and upkeep of the vehicle. That figure may not be cast in stone, but because certain costs have gone up. But you are required to maintain the vehicle yourself, service it, etc. So if you put an arrangement in place to give you access to another vehicle, and you are largely and extensively using this vehicle for areas where your own vehicle ought to have been used for private and even public duties, you are in fact altering your terms and conditions. Because the cost of operating a ministry vehicle would not fall on you. It is going to fall on the ministry account, which was not the understanding of the arrangement in place, he said. And when you do not have the vehicle in the ministry available to your standard, and you're going to buy one and try to blame the permanent secretary, he added. Rowley said if government wishes, and the PP government wishes to change the arrangement, all it had to do was make the representation to the competent authorities, make the case and have them adjust it. He said in the Commonwealth countries, ministers are indeed given government vehicles, but everybody knows what the arrangement is and you follow it, he says. He added, that he had no doubt that the arrangement could and should be changed, but in the meantime, government was bound by what is in place. That is, that the only vehicle available to ministers are the ones provided under the SRC condition. So do you understand that? In 2012, they break the SRC policy, whatever it is, and Vassan Bharat went to buy a Porsche. He didn't want the, so using the government vehicle and he buy a Porsche private for himself. And then now, the money that they were given to upkeep the government vehicle, because it's a private and government business, so you get an upkeep to the car. That money, he wasn't using, like if he wasn't using, in my opinion, he wasn't using that 4,000 something upkeep money on the government vehicle, like he was using it on the Porsche. And then the ministry now was fixing the vehicle, the government vehicle. You see what they like? Skullduggery. So when they hear, they say Kamala and she whole government corrupt, you see? And then when they listen to what Sharon Utley, the past Auditor General under the PP government, said billions of dollars spent in the ministries with no accountability to it. No documentation, not so money just spending anyhow. But they don't focus on that. They study a $2.6 billion revenue that everybody but Jaiwanti, the Auditor General, who now when I get an increase in salary, saying that everybody else say is an accounting error that happened at the central bank. She's the only one refusing that. Also, although she tells she staff look it over, they fix it, they check it, they whatever, they verify it and send it back to she accepted, verify, and she's still going about that way. But she had to get increased, so but they ain't talking about that. They're talking about Dr. Rowley and going to get increased. I'm going to read some names of people to get increased. So they're doing skullduggery long time. So let me continue on here. So Kamla Prasad Bissessa said that Dr. Rowley is a greedy old man. Kamla Prasad Bissessa, he does look older than Dr. Rowley. Don't pay all what she say. Kamla, he does look haggard. Your 2 foot and them does look like it could break, like two stick. So this was yesterday. In the Guardian, Kamla criticizes Rowley for seemingly accepting SRC reporting. The opposition leader, Kamla Prasad Bissessa, okay. I should have read Dr. Rowley accepted, but let me read this still. Opposition leader Kamla Prasad Bissessa has called the Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley tone deaf and ignorant regarding the matter of the Salary Reviews Commission report. In a statement, Prasad Bissessa called the Prime Minister a lazy, greedy old man who should get a pay cut, not an increase, and said that the post-cabinet media briefing held today was a masterclass in shamelessness and arrogant greed. She added that Rowley was ignorant of the pain of the population, who are fed up, angry, and frustrated, living in a country besieged by crime and where its social fabric is deteriorating. All of them pictures and them I send a courts and people fighting, them looking like them concerned about crime, them looking like if the place deteriorating. Prasad Bissessa also stated that Rowley's response in a press conference reflected that he has accepted the SRC report to increase his salary. He justified his move by effectively saying that his government, filled with incompetent members, deserved a pay rise. The opposition leader said that this was not surprising or shocking because Rowley does not care about the average citizen. She said that this was apparent because Rowley said nothing about the state of crime in the country. Today he said nothing about the out-of-control violent crime and murders, the high cost of living, poor healthcare. Imagine poor healthcare, and Jack Warner couldn't stop talking about the healthcare he gets at Yorima Hospital, Cuban boy, who is a critic of this government and all the things he does do. Me, one of the people does what he think really well, but he carried the child, Monto. And if you hear that man, big up Monto and the service he get for each child. and other people could do it. I have been to Potterston General Hospital and I get treatments. I'm not saying there are people who don't get some kind of treatments, just like everything else, but I went there and I get some good treatments. I've been to BounXup Hospital and I got some good treatments. And those are years ago I talked about. Pasabi Sasa reiterated that she does not want an increase in salary, which we know is a blasted lie, because once it go in your account, once they make it up, you can't go and tell them you don't want it. You could leave it in your account and no use it. But let she push money where she mouth is. When she get the monies, take it and open a fund. Not that children like fun, because you see me back and out with that last time. Children always send children in Colombia and they did in a substandard hospital, and people couldn't even get money out of it. What happened to that? Okay. So Basabi Sasa reiterated that she does not want an increase in salary. However, she said this is not the case with the current MP. I stated my position from the beginning. Do not increase my salary, excuse me, but pay the judicial officers and public servants. And she knows very well it is not done like that. Once the SRC make their recommendation, is 235 government entities under their control, under their purview, 900 members. If you want that change, you have to change some kind of law. You can just simply say, don't pay parliamentarians. Just pay the other public officers and pay judicial officers. You talking for your parliamentarians, you talking for the members of parliament, all the senators, all your MPs, you talking for them? You talking for them to say them don't want the money, but go play with Dr. Rodisi. But this is characteristic of his selfish, negligent behavior, which is disconnected from citizen struggle and focus on self-preservation. Okay, I had enough of Kamlan Shikra. So listen, let me hear what Dr. Rodisi said, and I will show you who lazy and greedy. I'll show you who lazy, and I'll tell me who lazy and greedy.
The opposition may have outrightly rejected it, but it won't be up for debate.
The government accepts the recommendation. To implement it, it will require a circular from the Minister of Finance, and the politics will start or it will end.
Breaking his silence on the contentious issue, the Prime Minister had no objection to the recommendation, which will see politicians receive a wage increase, some a quite hefty one.
We believe that we bring value by working hard, by working honestly for the people of the country. And the benefits are there to be seen by those who want to see benefits.
And the Prime Minister said he's very aware that this will incur the wrath of some members of the public.
I bear that cross without fear of retribution.
He said he can also predict that the opposition will use this as a political weapon against him on the campaign trail, but he's ready for them.
I have no fear of accepting the recommendations of the SRC if that is going to be my legacy.
He is also urging the public not to be fooled by what he said is the deception of the opposition's populist approach to the issue.
Publicly, you could pretend that they're not interested in it. Privately, they're rinsing out your ears. But they want it.
Now, CNC3 News sought to remind the Prime Minister that this increase is coming within the context of labour movements currently making the case that they too deserve a salary hike.
Every single one of them will be dealt with under the arrangements to deal with it. I know that there are those who will want to conflate them, and that's the politics of it.
The Prime Minister said it may be a good idea for the SRC to explain to the public how it arrived at these new wages for politicians and other public officers. Akar Samaru, CNC3 News.
All right. Prime Minister said, let's take on them, you know. They're rinsing on there as they want.
Good man. I get it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
They're rinsing out here as they want them, man. Kamla Pasabi Sessa said that Dr. Rowley is lazy and greedy. Listen to this. If anybody don't deserve an increase, it's Kamla Pasabi Sessa.
You should really not be able to give the ultimate. Imagine you ask a question to the Prime Minister. How often have you been in your office on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 25 years? Not one day. Not one day. So you are Prime Minister running a country, and your weekends from Friday to Wednesday for 5 years. So not one day has she spent a day, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday in her office. She comes up to Forest Wednesday night, goes in cabinet, goes in Parliament, stays in her office. She goes inside Parliament, she spends about 10 minutes to talk about her vote, and then goes back out. Her weekends from Friday night to Wednesday night. Monday, I don't think it's the records there. So when you tell a country that you want to come on 5 years, you want to have 5 years,
all the ways that I was renting is amazing. Us, as a guy that has a lot to do with work, to see this.
The fact you see it under my eyes is because since this coalition has started, the political leader of the UNC, Kamala Prasad, she starts work at 4 a.m. So at 4 a.m. she will be calling me and work starts. We don't stop. I have worked with 4 prime ministers as the right hand: Patrick Manning, Basil Pandey, Keith Rowley, and Kamala Prasad. And she is indeed one of the hardest working prime minister alive.
Gary Griffith was in our conversation, and I think what Jack Warner said, she had a 5-day weekend, and he explained. All of you know about the 5-day weekend. But you see, when they want to get into politics, they just skin the BAMC. They just skin the BAMC and expose the whole hole. Because they want to get in office. Kamala say, but greedy? She greedy for rum. Listen to this.
I'm going to say things that I never said before. I'm going to say things tonight that I never said before. And UNC, all you look for that. You're not coming at me on policies. You're not coming at me on issues. You're coming to dirty my name. I'm going to pull all you down. I'm going to set the whole thing on fire. All you forget how much bodies I help all you bury. All you forget how much drunk video Jerry Hardy called me. Oh God, Philip, she drunk and she's singing, boy. What you can do? You can pull it from the media. Use your contacts now, Phil. Help me out here now, boy. She drunk and singing, boy. What if?
Right? Greedy for rum. Drunk and singing. Lazy. 5-day weekend. They know what's going on. Listen to this one. What do you think, man?
You going? Would you go with the UNC? You will not go with the UNC. We have said it quite clearly that under no condition we'll go to the UNC. We cannot impose on this country anymore one of the most corrupt government this country has ever seen. Let me tell you, in the past, when you have governments and there were persons in the government who were corrupt, but never in this country's history have you had a whole government that is totally corrupt. There is not a single minister you can point a finger there and say who's clean. We have some of the most absurd. I mean, if you look at Rwanda, for example, I have some documents in Rwanda. It will blow your mind. If you look at the kind of payments they make for jobs that are not done. So I mean, it's ridiculous. And Mrs. Prasad is aware of all of this. All of this. I mean, in housing, the same thing. Trailer industry, same thing. Wherever you turn, I know this both of you already. You had pockets of corruption, but no, it is all pervasive, and that is the UNC's legacy to this country.
Look at that face. One wicked, dirty looking woman. You talking about who? Greedy and lazy. Hold here, get tied up. I want to show you something. Just want to play this one. But I got top of these people. When they come to one for all of them, going to skin the BAMC, expose the whole hole. Here you want one of them who marching right now.
Fellow citizens, as a people, we must never accept corruption. Under the People's Partnership, it has reached the scale of billions of dollars. When we consider the multi-million-dollar contracts given out to their friends, families, and financiers, and the controversial and questionable method by which these contracts are given out, we have absolutely no choice but to conclude that this is the most corrupt government we have ever experienced. This brutal and evil practice of corruption has brought terrible pain and suffering, anguish to the majority of our citizens, while a few continue to amass obscene wealth in the hundreds of millions. Nation, fellow citizens, as a people.
But imagine now, like the war Kamala come back, all of them I tell you, they will get in office, they will skin the BounXup and expose the whole hole. Right? Here was she first minister of health did say. So if you all feel these people afraid to lie, to influence people, to get them to behave a particular way, don't put nothing past them. Remember Cambridge Analytica, listen to what Rachel Cornell say.
Former UNC minister and special friend of Kamala confessed that she manipulated her students at the University of the West Indies to vote for Kamala.
Of course. And she says, okay, but then you have to help one of our persons running. I said, I could do that. That I could do. Stay in the background, use strategy and kind of like persuade students to vote for you. She said, how are you going to do it? I said, watch me. And when I taught classes, every now and then I would flash a little picture of the potential prime minister in my PowerPoint and find some reason to link her. Because I have 1,000 students. It could go a long way, right? But I never said I was backing any political party.
Yeah? Well, listen. She teaching people training UE and flashing Kamala picture to subconsciously put in their mind who to vote for. You hear? But they're marching today for more salary. Here what one of the one was saying. Instead of teaching the people children proper, you're spreading propaganda and indoctrinating them to vote for XYZ. All of that tie up and talk about we suffering. We suffering. Here Kamala lie.
Is now be talking about Section 34. Because if you and Burley or you and the Prime Minister feel that the people of Trinidad and Tobago are stupid, let me show you how they're not stupid.
I'm so dotish in this country, some of us. I don't put myself in that category at all. But we have some dotish people. We are...
Right? You remember that's how Dr. Rowley said, we stupid? And other plane, hear what he said? If Kamala and them feel we stupid, but she say, we dotish. It's a real dotish people. But they don't play them thing. Yeah? They want to put it like Dr. Rowley. Something is wrong with Dr. Rowley. They only put in Dr. Rowley get an increase in salary. Dr. Rowley get an increase in salary. Dr. Rowley get an increase in salary. Dr. Rowley get, that one to put it in your head. Dr. Rowley get an increase in salary. And that's what they say it over and over. I want to tell you something. I'll carry it on. Why should I say Jaiwanti? Ramdas, the incompetent. The incompetent. The incompetent Auditor General, in my opinion. Why she says she getting an increase in salary and she shouldn't take it? Huh? Why does she ain't saying that? Go to tell me that thing of the thing, boy. Well, look at my minute. Let me go on my page directly and get this thing. So yeah, Speaker of the House, Cabinet Ministers, non-Cabinet Ministers, VIP of the Senate, Deputy Speaker, THA Deputy Chief Secretary, THA Secretary, THA Assistant Secretary, Presiding Officer, Deputy Presiding Officer, Minority Leader, THA Assemblyman, Commissioner of Police, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Port of Spain Mayor, Deputy Port of Spain Mayor, Director of Public Prosecution, Deputy DPP, Assistant DPP, Solicitor General, Assistant Solicitor General, Deputy Chief State Solicitor, Assistant Chief State Solicitor, Chief Parliamentary Counsel, Chief State Solicitor, Registrar General, Treasury Solicitor, Deputy Solicitor General, Chief State Counsel, Inland Revenue Division, Deputy Chief Parliamentary Counsel, Commissioner Secretary, Law Reform Commission, Deputy Controller, Intellectual Property Office, Deputy Registrar General, Assistant Registrar General Tobago, Senior Assistant Registrar General, Permanent Secretaries, Office of the Prime Minister, Head of the Public Service, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance, Chief Personnel Officer, Permanent Secretaries, Director of Personnel Admin, Chief Administrator THA, Chief Medical Officer, Clerk of the House, right? And it goes on and on. Chief Fire Officer, Chief Senior Prison Officer, and it just goes on, but only focus on Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, and not to mention opposition leader who getting a pension because she was a prime minister before, so she gets a prime minister pension. And when the increases come, she's going to get increases too, along with the prime minister pension she enjoying right now. Don't let these people fool only. So let me go to this quickly here. I see J-Tom is marching and telling people, come and join them outside someplace, either Whitehall or one of that, to protest. Outside Whitehall to protest the government acceptance of the Salary Review Commission, right? First of all, J-Tom is not recognized as the umbrella body for unions in this country. NATU is the recognized umbrella trade union body. They make up their own thing. I want. Two, I don't have a problem with members or workers going out to march. I have a problem with union leaders for misleading them. You cannot put the 4% offer with this increase in salary for the 900 and something senior public officers that includes all members of parliament, parliamentarians. You can't put the two together. The SRC, the Salary Review Commission, is who deals with those category of workers, the terms and benefit, the terms and conditions of employment, and coming out of that, the benefits, rights, and all that. That is the body that deals with them. You see, the rest of the public service, the individual unions deal with that, and it's said before the CPO. If you as a union, you fail to go to the table, and the reason why we got saddled with 4%, they want to tell all, and I keep saying it again, for the period 14, 15, 16, what did they do? And what PSA did? PSA did nothing, because Duke was running up and down with Leroy Batiste to be politician. They did nothing. 3 years, that 3 years passed, that negotiating period passed. Some of them saying them was wanting to go and meet with the CPO, and the CPO was refusing to meet with them. And I would say, although let's take everything to court. How come we didn't take the CPO to court? Because if it is a part of the rules and regulations set out in the Industrial Relations Act, who has a responsibility to come and negotiate on the time frame, and the people or person refusing to do it, then take them to court. Or they do nothing, or they sit down writing. So then 3 years pass. 17, 18, 19 come. Same thing, PSA do nothing. Duke was in politics. I don't know the rest of them other unions and leaders and them was doing. They wasn't doing nothing. I say because them remain also without a settlement. And sometime in I think 20, after the COVID-19 or something, there's a virtual economic landscape meeting or something. So where all unions were invited virtually, and the Minister of Finance via the CPO presented to the country the landscape, economic landscape, to the union leaders and whoever went there virtually. And they outlined the COVID and the recession and all them things, they do whatever it is, and then they say 4% for the 6 years. You remember to start right there? and accept it. It's other unions had to let these people, we don't negotiate in 6 years together. 3. Right? The 4% remain. And I keep saying, so added to the fact that for the 6 years, they wasn't doing nothing. When the 4% offer come now, right? If the government said they could only pay 4%, well, if you said they could pay more, you had to bring and show where they could pay more, where they could pull the money from. If you're saying the figures they're given is wrong, then you have to come to show where the correct figures is, so that you will counteract what they're saying. But if you have nothing, whether you like it or not, you will end up with what you end up with, and that is how we end up with 4%. The only union who have no intention of signing, in my opinion, is PSA, because he already tell members in a political meeting he held in a ministry to ban the belly for next year, because he know UNC coming in office, and when them come, you go get 10%. I said a hogwash. He feeding people. And some people in this country, like, they love to be fooled. But as Dr. Roddy says something and talk the truth, they have a problem. So let me continue. So they didn't do nothing for the 6 years, and we almost, PSA members, must be 10 years now we get increase in salary. And the sad thing is, unlike the other unions who signed for the 4% and has the ability to go back and fund the CPO for the period 2020, 21, and 22, where there's a 5% offer on the table, we ain't going back, because we still wrap up yet. We're still back in the 4%. So let me bring it together now. 4% is a done deal. And any union leader with the salt still talking about 4% and getting more, they're fooling members, and they have no right to be leading no union. They have a political agenda for their own personal gain. Any union leader who today still talking about 4% will happen and gone, and saying that because the SRC increased 900 senior public officer salary, it means we must get more. That means worth a cent they will be getting. Give back people the money. You have a new period in front of you, 20, 21, and 22, a 5% offer on the table. Isn't this the time now to sit before the city with the information, the evidence, and the data and justification to look for double digit? Isn't this the period now we could use and say, well, look, the SRC just increased salary, whatever. You will correl and take this issue with the SRC to transport it back in time for 4%? You saw they're playing games on the people's mind? Why then tell the unions and union members that when they go and sit down in front of the CPO this period with the 5% offer on the table, we're going to look for double digit. And when we carry evidence, with information, with justification, and all the data, we will use as a part of the argument. Look, the SRC now increase all their salary. Tell me if that is making more sense than to sit down and fooling people and talking about 4% and we deserve more. Going from the blasted CPO for this new period is all your cause we to be 6 and 9 and 10 years without an increase. Don't let them fool all you, they did nothing. Because there's politicians, there's UNC, so they want to make the country look bad, make the government look bad because it's paying them in power. Suffer the workers, suffer the members. But every month they get the first thing, before I get my salary, $100 coming out my salary to pay PSA. Before my salary reaches my hand, the union then get my $100. Taking that every month, living nice, driving nice car, eating all over the place, the partying all over the place. It's just like when deceased Sakaraj tell Karabasabi says, you eating where you want, drinking where you want to play the ass all over the place. With members' money and telling people shit about bang your belly and still talking about 4%, and them fellas and them marching out there by Whitehall. And on the port management said, come and sit down. No we talk. That ain't good enough. You have your members go through and all kind of things. But you ain't going to negotiate in good faith. Because if you already go through out there, wherever it is, and the management say, come and sit down to talk, you ain't going there in good faith. You going there for confrontation. But there was the people all over Facebook listening to and getting tied up and wound up. But I know they know better than that. And I'm saying it again. Any union leader worth their salt, any union leader who not on games will not be telling members today about no 4% and the SRC. If you tell me for this new period of 2020, 21, and 22 and link it with the SRC, I could understand that because they're going to now start to negotiate. But you can't tell me no shutting is all you cause the problem. I saying so. Tell them Jennifer Frederick, the Rasta woman who they say have a pump city dread. Tell them she says so, that I say. And I will stand up and tell them in the face, them cause we, especially PSA, to be in the position we are today as public officers. Because they didn't do due diligence. Them is too blasted, lazy, they get like fat cats. And the same bourgeoisie class they just complain about and scorn because they had the poor and suffering class suffering and hungry while they're eating nice. It's the same blasted bourgeoisie that want to become because they're eating nice. Leroy Baptiste eating nice every day. All of them in PSA eating nice every day. And members on 2013 salary and that stinking red BITCH. You don't like me? You don't like your blasted self. Because me don't do you nothing. I just talking the truth. Leroy Baptiste, you don't like yourself. That's why every meeting, anything you have to call my name. You know, you have to call my name? Because it's the truth watching in a blasted face, you old BITCH. Do right by the workers. Do right by the members. But you can't do that because you're dirty and you stink. You can't do right. Get out with union, you know. Get out the union. Get out. You're going to have election March 10. Get out. Don't even try to feel a team. Get out. Because nobody ever votes for the public service only. Go in WASA. You know WASA. You're customer at WASA. Or they handle all the stories. Let a public officer run the PSA now. We give WASA a chance with Juke. Failure. We give Juke you a chance. You're from WASA with a whole WASA crew. Failure. Or they don't understand the public service. Or they understand WASA, the statutory board. That's quite okay. There was a time, I don't know if it's still have a union. He formed his own union. Trinidad and Tobago, WASA workers or some kind of things. And he's so stink and dirty. He was taking PSA members' money who work in WASA and putting it, they say, wherever, that it come into he instead and he union he have in WASA. And as Jennifer Baptiste Primus, as the PSA president, had to take his ass to court. Because PSA is the recognized majority union. That's how stinky it is. That's why they don't like she, know, because you know what? They can't fill she shoes. Them dirty stinkers and them, they can't do what she does do. And what she do? She bring me union where we own that building on our Cambridge Street and we didn't own it. There was a time in PSA when they having meetings and they come to cut the lights. And the members say no, they have to pull up money quick and send somebody run down to Park Street corner to pay the light bill. It reached to a PSA. Things running nice. She I think must be about $14 million in the bank. We had the property down the PSA grounds. We had some other business thing it had. We was going to get lands up in Valencia to build homes for the house when they built it in Long Circular. That money was going to be used to build houses for ordinary members. We had all that. We used to have Christmas party, children party. Members, children used to get burgesses when they pass common entrance. We used to give to the school where they trained Cyril Ross. We had sports day. Queen Show. The Queen Show was one. Listen to my ticket used to sell out because all them permanent secretary and ministers want to come PSA Queen Show. Now the ministry PSA has nothing. Leroy Baptiste and Watson Solomon Juke because he was there with Juke all the time. They take everything for themselves. Them as bitches. And that spell it as saying it on. A bunch of bitches. You know, I tell you, when I talk about these things, it does bother me. I don't mind, I'm not an executive officer. I'm not interested in that again. I want to see right for PSN, the members, and Leroy Batista and them is not good. They stink. And all who have their members marching up and down and playing on the emotions and talking about 4%, we want more than that because SRC get that, they're on shit. Today's Friday. Because what they're supposed to be telling the members now, when we go in front of the CPO for this period, with the 5% offer is on the table, that way the jamming go start. But they ain't saying that. They want to get caught up and tie up the 4%, but the 4% has nothing to do with this. The SRC has nothing to do with unions. If in this country they want the SRC to deal with public officers' salaries, well, just ban all blasted unions and let the SRC take care of everybody. They ain't gonna want that though. If they so want the SRC to get involved in we business because it's a union not to see about we business, all they're concerned about what the SRC do the work. Whether you like the outcome or not, they do the work. What work all they do? Don't let them fool all you. But they have a man up and down and talking. I don't understand that in this country. But Dr. Rowley, they could have called he rapist to this day. Pedophile to this day. And there's no case or no charge against him. Nothing against him. Nothing. But a man leading a union right now, I could only read from what I see. It was all over the news. I read it from the thing. It said case details summary. They said the court, Queen's Criminal Court, they gave all the numbers, the name, defendant, Michael, Anisette Michael. And it goes on to tell you it's an incident report, August 9, 2024. They gave the number, New York City Police Department, they gave the number, the must be arresting officer, right? Let me see what the charges. It says here, 1 count, arrest charge. The first count is sexual abuse, and third, what's the third, how do you call it, 3rd degree or where, I don't know if it's that. And the next charge, you get 2 charges. Forcible touching intimate parts. Until that man leading, marching town, and nobody is saying nothing but Dr. Rowley, who there's no charges, nowhere, nothing. Lies made up. Saying, but he raped some child and all kind of thing. Up to this day, a man put up a MP, put up a sign saying, keep your train away from Rowley, all that. That's okay. But a man who had charges in Queens for allegedly forcibly touching intimate parts, and whatever, he leading a union today. But you know that same man was in front of Angostura. Excuse me. In 2017, January. And it's ironic because while they were marching for Dr. Ral Balgobin to be sacked from Angostura for allegations of sexual harassment, they make Watson Solomon Juke, the president of NATUC, who the year before, 2016, get charged. 1 count of rape, 4 counts of sexual assault. He spent 4 days up on Frederick Street in the jail. And he earned $250,000 bail. But by later that year, they make he the president of NATUC. That is why research was done to show 1 out of 3 women in the union movement has faced violence and abuse. Because it's men like them who have these allegations against them continue to remain in the union. So this is them. The Seamen and Waterfront Workers Trade Union has renewed its call for the removal of Angostura chairman Ralph Balgobin over allegations of sexual harassment made by a senior female executive at the company. No police didn't lock him up. He didn't have no charge sheet. He had spent no time in jail. He not on no bail. The SWWTU, supported by the National Trade Union Center, NATUC, that is when Lambert was active, staged a protest at Angostura Laventel compound earlier today, demanding that Balgobin resign or be fired, carrying placards and shouting a slogan of workers A group of workers marched in the circle outside the compound under the watchful eye of the police. They were led in protest by NATUC General Secretary Michael Anisette. Anisette said the workers would not be deterred from their mission to have Balgobin removed, as it is a fundamental issue that surrounds ethics, governance, and safety. Balgobin reportedly resigned from the board of Massey's Holding and Yata Lockjack Graduate School of Business amidst the allegations. NATUC has written to the Board of Angostura as well as the Finance Minister Comhemberg expressing their concerns that the allegations surrounding Balgobin has the potential to tarnish the image and brand of the company if not dealt with swiftly. These allegations can detract from the company and have already begun to do so since the position of chairman is the highest position in the company, Anisette says. NATUC is calling for a full and transparent investigation into the allegations and that Balgobin be barred from attending any board meetings until this is done. Anisette said the matter must not be swept under the carpet or the rug. Asked if Balgobin should be presumed innocent until proven guilty, he said it was not simply a matter of innocence or guilt, but ensuring the safety and comfort of workers. I want to know who's feeling safe, whose comfort, whose. So it has nothing to do with simply about innocence. It's about ensuring safety and comfort of workers. Who woman feeling safe around Anisette? I want to ask all of that. Who woman feeling safe? Huh? Who woman feeling safe? Because I saw it had some woman was working on the port and e-business who talk about all kind of harassment, all kind of thing. That wasn't feeling safe. Is that one went in from the JC? Who feeling safe? That would tell all the listener no. Okay. He added that the allegations were of a serious nature and women must be respected in the workplace. The woman who it is alleged went in she bedroom or she bathroom ever and touched the intimate part, she plop, 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 and pull the pump, 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 pump. And it is alleged, take out a pig, 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 pig. She wasn't to be respected. Where are charges against her in the United States of America? Like in Trinidad, you know, you're going to America and embarrass your whole union. Recent media reports reveal that the board of Angostura had not received complaint made against Balgobin after a police report of sexual harassment was filed by the senior employee last November. The complaint included a polygraph to substantiate the report and was submitted to the Audit Committee of Angostura for investigation in November 2016. Balgobin, who is also president of the Trinidad Tobago Manufacturers Association, he has said that the allegation against him are untrue. Or anything ever come out of that? Or they ever hear Dr. Ralph Balgobin was charged, had to go to jail, go to court, anything? Watson Solomon Juk on trial for rape right now. But they make he, the president of NATUC, later that year. While Anisette marching in January, Balgobin must go, and say all kind of thing. Presumption and Anisette, not simply that, you know. It's about safety and all that. He himself on charges in the United States for sexual abuse. All they think it's easy. And the next one, Roger, how did he protect OWTU members who was working in Petrotrin? How you protect them? I hear this calling on radio, they ain't get this, they ain't get that, nothing. How you protect them? They get the land yet? They get the land yet? You advocate for them to get the land? Hey, Roger, you advocate for the Petrotrin workers who were retrenched and get a settlement. You're advocating for them to get the land? But when they was getting the back thing money from some thing they used to put money in and they was getting it now, you write letter, you want $1,000 or something from it. And when the mark bust, you rescind the letter. The people and them don't know how to work around, they get a little money. That a little extra coming and getting wanted $1,000. When the mark bust, you rescind that whole letter. So people know who all they're following. So when Kamala talk about greed and lazy, it's some of them union leaders. They're greedy and they're lazy. She as opposition leader and some of she members of parliament. What Barry Parada does do. What Grudy and Dar Singh does do. What Khadija Amin does do. What David Lee does do. Where at it? What Ram does do. And let's go. What Anna Roberts does do. That drunken, dirty, stinking next one. What he does do? And naked who looking like he on some black substance. What he does do? more than be violent, stink and dirty. I could be so, because me in parliament. I don't want to be in parliament. I not in no high office. As an ordinary member of PSN, an ordinary citizen. But what them let's do? But they did nagging. And Dr. Rodriguez, the ones the money. While Kamala Bowling take back shoe. She must say that because she get more money than all of them. People will have a choice to make it. And all them, if they make the wrong choice and only don't know the assignment 2025, all the children and all the children, the Indian children, the Chinese children, the Syrian children, the African children, they will suffer. They will really know a sufferation. Right now, things suffering and people fighting, falling on, going to courts and all kind of bacchanal all over the place, standard all over the place. Concert coming, where's his name? Vice Cartel coming down. That I saw that show going on Ramon thing out. I see somebody right now going to protest it because me ain't getting in that papa. Me no Calypsonian, me no soca singer. Let them handle the stories. I saw that going on sell out. Costume don't start to sell for carnival. Gym start to pack up because people have to get a six-pack on the belly go down. Cars selling out. Business booming. Look, where's the NU Automotive Limited? Them open and expand the branch. They're going all in Ghana too. I am not saying that there are some people who are less fortunate in the society. Of course we do. All societies. Ask that daughter stupid one who was called Wall Street and Professor Wall Street, blasted professor. He lives in New Jersey. Ask about the sufferation of people in New Jersey lining up for food when the weekend come because they can't buy the food. All the poor states in New Jersey, where because they raise the, it's like, if you was making a certain amount of money and you fall under that catchment, you could get this grant or whatever. They raise the price. So now, everybody under real stress who used to get it before, they can't get it now. Because the people who never used to get it, now start to get it. So you put in more burden. Ask them about them thing. Yeah? Ask them about them who does go up there and pay, go in people's basement and pay all kind of $500 and rent out to work 3 work. All they do is work and come home. Sometimes they have nothing to eat. When they come down here, they just play all kind of thing because they save up, must be about 4 years they save up to come down with the US and the clothes and things to make all the feel thing nice. Feel across the easy. Some of them just wish they sit around crying. They wish they could come back home. Because things so hard across the. Here they just do one work and they could land the rest of the day. Up there, if you have to reach for 6, you reach 1/4 past, 1/2 Depending on where you're walking, you could find somebody else walking for you. They don't stick with that snow falling. I remember my sister tell me snow falling, the ground smooth with some sleep because like the ice gets smooth whatever. And walking, come out outside, go do chat a bundle up. Skate on that and see she foot up in the air. You think you could go back inside and say, oh God, my back hurt to me. In Trinidad, we fall long. We going back inside and call you, but watch me now. Me and coming on, Papa, 2 sick leave. I going to take my 2 sick leave. And on the 3rd day. You think you could do that in America? You have to limp and go. And if there's any medical thing, you have to make sure you have medical insurance and medical card. In Trinidad, let me go down my casualty now, boy. My teeth hurting me, boy. Let me go up in the dentist clinic there in Montauk now, boy. Our teeth real stressing me here, boy. You're getting it done free. And Kamala and all of them know that. But they're so wicked. They're wicked. Them wicked to the core. Look at that woman foot now. That woman foot like it shrink. Let me show you it now. Look how this woman foot was before. Eh? Like she's shrinking from she foot come up. First she wicked. Let me say I find it quick and let me call all who here. Just want to see. Oh, look at she foot. You see how it looking? Right? It looking. You know, it looking fairly decent there and thing, right? Yeah. Oh, let me watch it. Let me show you. Give me a minute. Let me see if I find it here quick. Otherwise, I really have to go on the page and I feel to go show. Okay, so let me see. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Oh, remember how the foot look, eh? See, there's some life in it. Look at this foot now. Look at that foot. The woman like she drying from she foot. Look at them foot. The woman like she drying from she foot. Come on, boy. Look at that foot. Let me take a picture and I'm going to ping it to the next one. Before they feel this joke I'm making. Look me, brother. Let me show it again. Before and after. Oh, look what she foot good. She's rocking with she whole crew. Watch them. That was during when we were wearing face masks. Right. Watch this woman foot now. She holding on before she, with the face mask, she was walking by herself. Look at she now. Watch. Oh, that give me a blasted break. I am not rejoicing on nobody's sickness and not get it twisted because you know some people just get it twisted and whatever. I am making a comparison. How she looked then to know because she talking about who lazy and who greedy and who this and that. But we have to show the next side of it. You can't be saying them thing about Dr. Rowley and everybody just quiet and they don't want to answer you back because they're afraid he's a woman and he's a and then they go look at her. No, not a shit at that. When you give and talk, you must be able to take talk. Let me see all who here. Joel, Kurt, Andel, Philo, Rudolph, Brian, Kathleen, Angela, Anne-Marie, Annette, Jonathan, Herbert, Brian, Norris, Christopher, Balti, Sandra, back to back, Donna, Pamela, Yvette, Joycelyn, Marie, Anton, Kato, old cat here today, boy, Sarah, Ingrid, Robert, Marley, Nicole. Again, yes, they say 7 toes she have because she's diabetic. But it's a prosthetic toe, so me, you know, she learned to walk in the toes better. No, I don't know, I'm asking that question. Again, to all those who find we should talk about this, get your own life and go and talk about gloom and doom every day. Join Indira Sajiwan, join all of them. And on the whole day, have a pity party and talk about how this country bad and wicked and stinking. My life, I want to bring, just like the economist, excuse me, Senator Obeka, he show you the reality how things are whatever it is, but then he show you the next side also. I doing that too. I ain't going to no gloom and thing party. Them people who I say they falling down on one another, ever see the woman side, she up and she bouncy up in the air, and she tight, hello, and people bouncing that falling over she back and all, and who laughing and who, them not having a ball. And I hear when they went up there, where it was, it had doubles. If you reach up 4 or 6 or something back and all, so that in the dark, them waiting, you know, 4 o'clock place open, I think 4 o'clock in the morning, you know. They didn't afraid crime. They wasn't fearful of crime. Look now. People, what I could tell you all, I could just bring the information, and many of us are bringing it. Go on debunking facts, debunking lies with facts. Dominic shows facts are stubborn things. You have Miss Felix, Josh, Bruce Wayne on 91.9. And Pastor Google, saving 91.9, them 3. Because other than that, I don't know what that station does have at all. That station like is a parlor. And if they hear me saying that, they might block my call now. I know business. That's running like a parlor. You're going to ask a pound of salt and 2 ounces of this. You know that kind of way? Parlor. So it have them, it have Darian Marcel, 95.5, it have John Gill, John Benoit, it have Julia Davy, the next powerful sister. She out there taking a little sabbatical right now because everybody does need to replenish, you know. Yeah? And there are so many others, callers who is calling the radio station, those on Facebook who challenging them when they're lying, and see all out there challenging them, continue doing it. Because we have to. This election 2025 is, when they say we're scared for the children's future. That's what we're scared about. We're scared for them own children, for we own children, because come up beside me, say them can run no country that do not have the ability, they don't have the experience, they don't have the knowledge. All about it is for them. We hear them say it. We hear people say it's corruption, nepotism, thieving. They all say so. So what you want me to say? When people show you themselves, you have to believe them. And them was right inside and they tell me Kamala and them thief. We know she has lied because she tongued us twist. She said this and that. We know that about these people. And all they want to tell me. All I want to hold on to petrol train. Where petrol train, the evidence show. Even the economists go sign or go sign. Say and all. You understand? I paint it my way. Why petrol had to close? So the information is there to show petrol train was a burden. The evidence is to show the exploration and production side of petrol train was the one making the money, the downstream. That is now called heritage. The information is there. They want to hold on to the SRC. Them people study. Because if you, all they who listening, had a daughter, a son, a nephew, a cousin, a friend, or all their own self was a senior public officer, and then get the money, I ain't talking about the civil servant, I talking about senior public officers under the purview of the SRC. And all they get an increase in salary since 2013 or anywhere around there. And all have a chance now. You think all that studying public officers who they union and go and do the work for them? Let me be real. Because you have your bills to pay, whatever it is, and you went and study. You burn night, you burn candle, you stay up nights. Some days you're eating, you have to finish project, you're doing a master's, this, that. You deserve every blasted cent. If the unions refusing to do their duty for the civil servants, you have to blame them. Don't study them senior officers, because not Dr. Rowley alone and is the office of the Prime Minister, or they get like Dr. Rowley alone, they put it in their pockets, all of them getting it, and then letting them know they want them Kamala talking one talk, them saying they want the money. And the blasted right. We want the best from these people. All them senior public officers I call. And don't want to pay them properly. When it comes to the union, if the union want the members to be paid properly, they know what they have to do. Go in front of the CP and negotiate. Make sure we do a job evaluation in public service. Let it start back wherever. Put us in a position where we have this, that, whatever the case may be, work it out proper. So when you start to do negotiation, you ain't going by just the retail price index methodology. We'll have a new methodology based on the job evaluation. That is what you have to do. But they ain't doing it. Because they like the members to remain down here and them alone up here. And they like the bacchanal comes because they feel like the only way they could get members to match cost the government. And they could keep members. Unions have evolved, but some of them in this country, them still in the times of Butler and them. Them times in Butler and them was for those times and that kind of behavior. But Butler and them paved the way with all the regulations and rule and all that inside. So we don't have to do what them was doing. We have to go to the next level. And all they want to go at all. Or they want to go, or they want to continue, we must overcome, we must overcome. And I want to tell you and take workers again last before I go. Ask Roger why all is still on 2014 salary. Ask Estate Police why all is still on 2014 salary. Let them explain to all you and tell me about we could overcome. And all them actually the same man who bought we should overcome. Eh? Why he didn't overcome and go and sit down with the board and management at TNTech? The OWT wanted 12%, and they knew the data showed that TNTech wasn't making money, but it was adamant they want 12%. TNTech offered 6% to Estate Police. Them they wanted neither. It went to industrial court. You know what I get? 0, 0, 0. They don't talk about that at all. So, them can't go back and get nothing with that now. What are you going to do? Go on judicial review, appeal, privy council, all that, while the members still sitting on 2014 salary? Well, no, they cannot take the 6% because of the economic climate at TNTech. That's just me saying so. Then let go where it go, and the members end up with not getting an increase. For 2015, 16, 17, they get 0, 0, 0. Instead of the 6%, you can go 2, 2, 2, or 2, whatever, distributed over the 3-year period. Or they play with them people. Let her tell Ole I lie. Let her make her life. Let the young boy come back out. What did it happen last time? Because I say was Tiantec, I made a mistake. It was estate police that would have taken the matter and whatever, because OWT was that. That the only mistake I'm making. Everything else was relevant, but they make her life to come out to talk as if I lying. Let us send here and make a next live and say that I'm lying again. So people only know what to do. Cater people like Ole know how to tell Ole boy. Ole are going to spell some words like I spell BITCH. I'm going to say this. Bend over. Spread your CAR, WHOLE, and let it suck up your head in that slack space, and then you will see what has come down from there. You want me to say it over to all you? People like them who continue in the face of facts and information, they could bend over, skin the CAR, WHOLE, and let that whole WHOLE suck up, because that whole slack now, suck up the head like a tampon, and then let us see what has come down from that entrance. People, have a blessed weekend. Have a blessed weekend. See you all on Monday, because when I come with something for something new. This is your Jen, Sister Jenny, Auntie Jenny. If you want to get formal, it's Miss Jennifer Frederick. Don't know edition we talk detail.
If the coalition is only as strong as its members.
We going again. All them things that's happened, don't worry. We're going again. We're Roxanne and all the whole crew. Roxanne Axel for everything. Yes, Roxanne. I want to wait on this long time. Not my children, I love the copyright. But I am strong. They go mine. Our future will be safe. If we only make them mistake. Our planet driven by education. We're looking towards a stronger nation. Election day, protect your future. Election day, what is the answer? Attract, not turning back. Attract, not turning back. Attract, not turning back. Attract, not turning back. Voting PNM on election day. Voting PNM on election day. Our vision pretty scared. It's only shot to get in there. Voting PNM on election day. Our infrastructure is improving too. Election day, protect your future. Election day, what is the answer? Attract, not turning back. Attract, not turning back. Attract, not turning back. Attract, I'm ready for you on, I'm ready for you on. The next one before I go on about it, too sweet. Here the next. Oh God, I don't care what I said. Oh God, sweet and child. Sweet and child. Oh, sweet and child. I was in the laboratory when somebody talked with them. Somebody said that I'm up today. It was to take care of them. And in this crowd was singing loud words and it was good. When we walk in big stairs, oh Lord, what a session. Oh, I love it. Somebody say it was a lucky man. We have to Frederick, William. Hallelujah. We ain't making no notice mistake. What the opposition get, they go take. When I say okay, you know what I mean. That's all you do is keep in this country. We can't say, excellent team. Great is the year. Sweet and time. People, I think that is what I put on our PNM. You see this music and that enjoyment. They can't take it. They can't take it. Because at the end of the day, they know the People's National Movement. It's like all of them say, wellness country. Before I go, they know every infrastructure in this country was built by the People's National Movement. Kamla Prasad, the Sessa, and young girls like her got the opportunity to come out from any garden, come out the cane field, come out from under a big old man riding them. Because of the policies of the People's National Movement, she could have become a lawyer. They could have become doctor, not only farmers, businessmen and women. Because of the policy of the People's National Movement, the education for all. They know that. And had their ancestors stayed, the proud Indian ancestors stayed in India and not come here in 1845 under the indentureship program, ask them where they would have been. Kamla Prasad went to India to meet her family. You ever see she go back? She went to Bihar. Bihar is one of the poorest states that have in India. You see she went back? Mr. Pandey went also. Never went back. Because the type of poverty. Don't come to tell you what African history that is. We didn't ask to come here. We didn't choose to come here. Where we was very happy. And don't tell me about what African people said. It was our business. And don't tell me we already had slavery in Africa. It wasn't that kind of slavery. This new system that the colonials and them put in place, the British and all them, we didn't have that kind of slavery in Africa. What we had in Africa, when tribe fight tribe, they take you in as a slave. Yeah, you're a captain of slave, but not where you're less than a human being. Not where you have to change your name. Not where they're cutting off your genitals with a stripping woman, taking out baby out of the belly. Not where they have you worse than a dog. Not where constant beating. It wasn't that kind of thing. I know it has slavery in the Bible. Yeah, but it still wasn't this one, yeah, you know. Chattel slavery, you know, that was something different. So don't give them stupid talk. And after 400 years of enslavement, yes, some people will still be affected. It's not an excuse you're making. It's a fact. People go into psychologists because they live in an abusive relationship 4 years, 2 years, 3 years. You tell me 400 years, 4 generations born into that system, and people will have a problem. Let me be real now, man. But we have done well. We have done well and we continue to do well. But some of Indian descent, or they don't want to confront or the history, or the feel that when it started in 1845, because to look beyond that and look to India, like some of us feel shame. We are shame and we history. We're not shame and we history, we are Kunta Kinte. What's your name? Kunta Kinte! What's your name? And when they beat him all of that inch of life, he said, Toby. We know we history, you know. Don't forget all you want. Don't afraid to know all you want. People history is a history. Be proud of it. And I end by saying again, all of we have to build this country together, all races. And the most inclusive party is the People's National Movement. UNC is not inclusive. The few window dressing that have as Negroes there, it's just that. Look how they treat Wade Mark. That's an indication. Look how they treat Jack Warner. Look how they treat Winston Gypsy Peters. That's an indication. And Marlene Kudrow and the list goes on and on. An indication of how they just treat KNEW-GROWS. When they come out from there, like it just come back to be that person of African descent with pride. So people again, I'm saying, let us all build this country together, all races. But you're not going to be of another race and play talking down to me and disrespecting me. And I just going to be quiet and no, I'm not. Respect me, I respect you. I'm going to build this country together, all races. Me ashamed of my history. I'm proud to be an African woman, a Rasta woman. And I urge everybody, no matter you come from India, China, wherever, be proud of your history. Because you know what? You make it when you came here and you evolve. So get it together, people. 2025 know the assignment. I love all you are God. Yeah, there's still sinners that listen here. That's a fact. But they don't like to speak about it. Because then now, I will leave by saying this. I did some psychology. There's something called inferiority complex. Right? Look it up. And a lot of people does mask it by this feeling of superiority. It's unfortunate, but that's a real thing. Some people need to get their act together and we build this country together. People, I love you all. I go and see all the money because we are coming with something for something new. I go on. Bye-bye.
Somebody said that I'm up today, the boss could take care of them. And in this crowd was singing loud, going to the convention. When we walk in big screen and Ting, oh Lord, what a session. In the hand was a plan and he started to jam. He hit them bam, bam, bam.